is up, NFT family? Super excited to be back. It's NFT Scout here reporting for duty. And here comes another video for the channel. And today we're going to be exploring yet another NFT project. And today's project is going to be Kindergarten BabyApes. Okay, so if you've ever heard of Kindergarten BabyApes, then you know exactly what I'm going to focus on in here for. We're going to talk today about really projects that are built around charitable components. Okay, so some projects are built around the artwork purely. Some of them are built around things like access to celebrity communities or unique exclusive communities. Some of them generate passive income, and then some of them simply just have a really cool component behind them. I'm not saying Kindergarten BabyApes doesn't have some of those other components, because the artwork is cool. They do have plans to get into the metaverse, and they do have some potential collaborations in the future that could lead to some exclusivity in the sense of having access to particular perks or merchandise or something like that. Okay, but at its core, Kindergarten BabyApes was a project founded in order to build schools in partnership with an aid organization called Build On. Okay, Build On has built, I think, something like over 50% of the schools in the countries that they work in the past 2 years. And basically, they're building schools for young children so that kids can go back to school and basically at a manageable cost and at manageable risk and effort. If you know anything about some of the third world countries where they're building, places like Nepal, Nicaragua, Guatemala, and there are a couple other ones, and we'll look at them in the Discord community. Some of these children have to hike miles every single day, cross rivers, climb the side of cliffs or down the side of cliffs, just to get to school. Okay. And the things that are being done by Build On are amazing, because they're putting schools within the grasp of children. In the next year, they're looking to get over 5,000 children back to school in these countries. And that's a beautiful thing, because children are the future. And if that sounds cliche, I'm sorry, but it's always going to be true. And especially in third world countries, giving children the opportunity to get a proper education is something that is something I'm always going to stand for. Okay. If you look at the project when they first launched, they had a really interesting roadmap, which was basically starting off with airdrops, then going to a $20,000 tech giveaway. They ended up giving away $20,000 in Ethereum instead. Then they were going to start kicking off an airdrop project for holders, and then kicking off their phase 2, as well as building schools. So what they ended up doing, or what we ended up doing, which I love saying because I'm a part of this, is we ended up building 2 schools, one in Nicaragua and one in Guatemala. And there's plans to build up to 5 more schools in phase 2. That is super exciting, and something I'm super proud to be a part of. So let's dive into the OpenSea, just so you guys can see how this project has progressed. And I'll talk about some of the cons, or some of the things that haven't panned out exactly as expected. So as you can see here, the project, I think it minted at 0.06 Ethereum. And right now, as you can see, it's at half that in the floor price. So if you want to get in on this, it's pretty cheap at the moment. And like I said in the past, I mean, this is something that I'm holding. And again, let me take a step back. This is not investment advice. I'm not trying to pump my own project that I'm a part of. Not at all. But what I am saying is, when you truly believe in a project and you want to be a part of it, regardless of how it performs from an investment point of view in the short term, the goal is just to hold on and continue to participate in the community, because there's long-term goals that you want to achieve with this. For me, it's being a part of these next 5 schools that are going to be built in phase 2 in 2022. Okay. It's part of the roadmap that includes building an elementary school or kindergarten in the metaverse. I mean, that's amazing. I think we voted for the sandbox. So I think this is going to be in the sandbox metaverse, which I haven't talked about in this channel, and it will, I promise. But yeah, there's going to be a school in the metaverse, in the sandbox metaverse, for Kindergarten BabyApes. And I mean, I can sit here and think about a million different ways to blow this up, like creating e-learning opportunities, not only for children, but for any kind of KBA holder. and partnerships with companies like Udemy or Coursera or EDX, which are, if you don't know what those are e-learning platforms. And I mean, there's a lot that I can think about here that would be kind of amazing and beautiful to do, but it's all up to the founders to some extent, see what they get done. In addition to that, they're also trying to partner up with different ape-related projects. As you can see, the artwork follows that same kind of theme of the apes, right? That we've seen be very popular and successful across many different projects. They've talked about potentially partnering up with Desperate Ape Wives, partnering up with some of the other big ape projects. But all of that is, just talk until the founders make it happen. Okay. So now I want to talk about the artwork. Okay, because I think that's something super important to always dig into when we talk about projects, because a huge motivator for some people is just purely the artwork. So if we look at, if you go on Rarity Sniper, you can type in Kindergarten BabyApes, you can access this page and you can see the different apes that you have access that you could potentially have minted. So there's like a Doom ape at the highest rank, and then you have Dora here. This is actually Gary V. So they took an old picture of Gary V when he was a kid. If you guys have ever seen this picture where he's sitting Gary Vaynerchuk is sitting with a New York Yankees t-shirt, in this old vintage picture, just kind of cheesing, smiling. They basically replicated it and turned it into KBA. Their idea was to generate a lot of noise around this, but it's also just very cool that they added him to this, because for me it'd be the perfect project for him to be a part of. But I can only wish, right? Gary, if you're listening to this, which who knows if you will, your KBA is waiting for you. And then there's other cool things. I mean, there's varying backgrounds. These blue laser lights are awesome. I wish I would have gotten one during Mint, but it didn't pan out. But it's super cool. And there's other, many different characteristics and traits that are part of these baby apes. And I think it's pretty cool artwork. And I can't wait to see what they do in the 2.0 roadmap with new artwork and, what kind of other traits they come out with. But yeah, so that's basically the artwork. And I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comments about it. I think it's fairly cool. Obviously, it's not as elaborate as Mutant Ape Club or some of the other ones that we've seen, but it's definitely more elaborate than the pixelated ones we've seen in the past. And I mean, everybody has their own take on that. So I want to jump over to the Discord community to share with you guys some of the things that was cool about this community. So if I remember correctly, back when I was participating in this, I think I participated about 2 weeks in advance before Mint. And this was one of my first aggressive pushes for a whitelist. And the reason I say is because it was super competitive. You had to rank up based on your participation, invites, etc. in the Discord server. And I think I ended up being top 50 rank, and then I wasn't whitelisted still, because you had to first reach a certain levels of ranks, and it would give you a higher chance to win. But I think the amount of work to go from rank 1 to rank 2 in terms of, or level 1 to level 2, in terms of what they considered the KBA participation, the server participation. I mean, there was marginal benefits, but it was a lot of time to get to that second level. For example, my brother joined 2 days before Mint, and he got whitelisted that same day. But I had been in the community for about 2 weeks, and I couldn't get whitelisted. So it's super frustrating. But about 2,000 or so of us, maybe 3,000, got whitelisted, if I remember correctly. Maybe it was 5,000. I can't remember, to be honest. It was something like that. And the whitelist gave you an opportunity to mint up to 3 KBAs in presale. Presale price was exactly the same as the mint price outside of presale. The benefit was supposed to be that you wouldn't get swamped by gas fees. But the thing is, gas fees were so high, even on the day of presale, that there really was nothing that you could do. I mean, I think I minted on both days, and I ended up minting probably slightly cheaper on the presale, but not by much, maybe by a couple bucks, to be honest. So probably one of the less exciting whitelist experiences I've had. Definitely took a lot of effort, not a lot of a return on my investment of time, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. It is what it is. These things can happen. If you see some of the things that have happened that happened in the community, for example, we recently had a raffle to give away the $20,000 in Ethereum. We've had charity voting to determine what school we were going to build. So, for example, you can see here the 5 different countries. Well, technically it's 7 countries, but we can't travel to these countries. Apparently, not apparently, but the goal is that if you're a KBA holder, you can travel to the schools that we build to visit the children and visit, the projects as they're being built. That might be an attractive value proposition for some people. For me, it's here or there. I mean, I don't know if that's super attractive to me. It's not because I don't want to go. It's just time-wise, I can't find myself like traveling to Senegal to go visit the school. But it's still like really cool for those people who have the time and the resources to go over there. So we ended up voting for Nicaragua and Guatemala. So that was super cool. And yeah, I mean, this community has hosted floor contests that involve buying up the floor to try to keep the price up. It has exclusive chats just for people who are long-term holders. We've had this really cool. They basically hired I don't know what you call it, like a NFT market analyst that goes in here and on a daily basis posts about the number of things of apes listed from the project, the different price ranges, some of things that you could snipe up based on a top picks of things that are maybe cheaper than they should be, and just things like that. Okay, like I mean, just really cool marketing and analysis things that I haven't seen in other projects, which has been super cool. They have chats for different sports. And I mean, in this community, I got to know a lot of really cool people that I ended up connecting with because everybody, I mean, to be sincere with you, everybody, yes, they were there to make money in some ways. But I think in the beginning and for a lot of the early days, it was all about, building schools for kids and getting to be a part of this community, which is something that you rarely see. That kind of just like a very holistic, a very genuinely nice community. And I was very excited and very happy to be a part of it. I won't show you guys my KBAs today because I'm running out of time. This video is already going on about 13 minutes. But I will in the future, I promise. Well, my profile picture down here is one of them. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions about the community, if there's anything that I missed, anything things you guys want to know about, anything about the future roadmaps, and I know this community pretty well, so just hit me up in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to get with you guys and answer the questions that you may have. If you have any suggestions for future videos or any projects you'd like me to look into, just go ahead and leave a comment in the chat. In the comment section. And if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, let me know why, and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on future reviews of NFT projects, or eventually when we're soon to start actually doing the scouting, which is me going into future projects and diving into the community, similar like we did today, but for upcoming projects to give you an idea of some of the cool things that are upcoming. But anyways, guys, NFT Scout signing out. Talk to y'all later. Thanks.